Okay, everybody, I'm here to tell you my opinion of the song that I just heard, a duet between Barbra Streisand and Paul McCartney. They're singing the song that Paul wrote and recorded for his album Kisses on the Bottom back in, I think, 2012, and they're doing a kind of a cover of it together. And I was really very cautious going into this because it's no surprise that Paul McCartney's vocals have been kind of rough lately. Now, both of them are around the same age. As a matter of fact, Barbra Streisand just turned 83 in April. Paul will turn 83 in June, so they're just a couple of months apart in age. Well, when I played the song, I played it on YouTube. First thing I thought immediately was, wow, Barbra Streisand sounds great. She sounds like the Barbra Streisand of old. I mean, they can do things in the studio. I don't know if her voice is that good and it's aged that well, or if they did anything. But all I can tell you is I thought she sounded terrific. No qualms whatsoever. When she started the song, it was her singing, and I was waiting for McCartney to come in. And I was bracing myself, people, because, look, as much as I love Paul, as much as we all love Paul, and I continue to support him and buy his new releases, his voice has been kind of rough lately. I thought it worked when he did it on the album McCartney 3, his last offering, and he's got another album coming out soon. But I was wondering, as I'm hearing Babs singing away like an angel, what is this going to sound when Paul comes in? And when Paul came in and started singing his part, I thought he was pretty good. I don't think he was as good as Barbra. I don't think his voice has aged as well as Barbra's. But I was ready for a little bit more of a jolt, a little bit more ravaged, rough-sounding, kind of voice. And what I could hear from it is I got the impression that Paul was really trying hard not to strain too much, trying to do things that sounded to me, and I'm not a professional singer, but to my ears, him trying to control his voice in such a way that he wouldn't have it crack or get too raspy or something. It sounded like he was, I'll say, struggling with it. It came out good, came out okay because he was doing that. But after listening to Paul for so many years, from the very early 60s till recently, I can kind of tell it when it seems like he's trying to be careful. Now, it seems to me that Paul is not featured so much. It seems like it's mostly, what I gathered out of it, Barbra Streisand with Paul, halfway. It's mostly Barbra's show. And as I say, she was terrific. But I want to stress here that I didn't mind Paul on here. I think he did adequately on here. I think it was pretty good for Paul now, the way he is. In the studio, as I say, you can do all kinds of things. So I think it came off pretty well. But I'll tell you, as an aside, listening to Barbra Streisand's voice, I started thinking, I'd love to hear her just sing this herself. I don't know if there's a version with just Streisand alone, but I would like to hear Barbra's version of this solo, all alone, because I think she sounds terrific still. And that's my gut instinct, my gut impression, the first time that I'm listening to this song. A pretty respectable version, I think.